Hello, 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 and good morning. This is Joanne with the Jewel Design. It is Sunday, and this should be a little extra bonus video. It is a flip-through journal with me video. We have finished the pink Wildflower Botanical journal. If you've been following me, then you know we start off with 5 kits, or one large kit that had 5 color variations in it, and gives you plenty of room to maneuver when you buy that kit to decide how to blend it together. And we debated on whether to make one large 5-signature kit or 5-signature book, right? Or make 5 individuals with each one within its color scheme and just enhance. And in this case, in the end, I decided to make them 5 semi-naked journals. And in this case, we start out with a pink one, and there'll be a blue one, there'll be a purple one, a green one, and there'll be what we call a mixed one, because it's sort of a cream base with all the colors in it. And as the year goes on, we'll make those journals, and I'll get them up for sale. So we're going to start off with the pink version of the Wildflower Botanical journal. It is a semi-naked journal, as I said. And if you haven't figured it out, this is Joanne with the Jewel Design, because I say that so automatically, I don't even know if I say it half the time. But Jewel Design, digital designer for the junk journal world, and every once in a while I get to make a handmade item that I put out for you to sell. I put out to sell for someone to purchase if they don't have a chance and maybe didn't have the time to make a journal. I always have the printouts, at least one copy of every kit I've ever made, to show you guys in my digital reveals. So those pages, those papers, that ink has to get used. We can't let it just sit there for a month of Sundays. I have more kits than I know what to do with. So every once in a while I like to make something and put it back out there for you guys to purchase if it fits a need or a desire that you have. So with the pink being the pink-based Wildflower journal, you can see there's a lot of pink on it. It's very much pink, and I absolutely adore how this corner came out. I ended up adding, if you followed me, I added some papery cream and white flowers behind it for some more oomph. We added pearls. We did go ahead and do, and I did on the bottom and inside, the stenciled roses on the fabric to give a little bit more texture. Tried to add some glitter to some of them. Didn't quite work the way I wanted, but you commit and you do what you can. Definitely, if you have the ability to do anything to it, I would suggest umphing that a little bit. I don't have the, what is it? It's not stencil, and it's not, I can't think of the word. It's very similar to stencil, but it's not, and I'm always struggling with it. But anyway, there's that white sort of pasty glue that you can rub into a stencil, and it gives you that enhanced, embossed sort of feel and look. And so, you know, maybe you can enhance it a little bit. So, you know, you take a chance, you play with it. It is a perfectly imperfect book. Always will be. There's always those little tweaks. It is a journal, and within the junk journal world, things aren't perfect. We're upcycling, recycling, playing with something that's there and just trying to make it pretty, right? So it's perfectly imperfect. It is a semi-naked book, meaning there's a little bit of decoration on the inside. There's a little bit of things to play with, but most of it's there for you to journal. And this is a 30-page monthly journal. You can give it to an aunt, a mom, a girlfriend, a wife. If the males are watching, and same for the females, I don't care. Your partner that you love, your mom, whoever, your godmother. And it would be a great, like, birthday month journal. Like, they could journal it every day on the month of their birthday. A great Mother's Day memory type book. But there's 30 pages to write on, and there's a little bit more depending on how literal you are. There are some dull enough areas you could add even more and get a few extra days out of it. So I'm really stoked that we ended up doing the lace down the side. I ended up adding this little bit to it that wasn't there in the process video, because it felt like it was all here and this was just plain. It just sat there and it needed something. So I did go ahead and add this little corner up here. I added the Tim Holtz corners to sort of fine tune the book so it felt like a book. I did not do any wrapping around it to close it. I didn't want to take a chance of it not going through the fabric and ruining the cover. And 2, I don't have any sari silk in my setup. This is the closest I get to any kind of sari silk. So if you happen to have a sari silk to help keep it closed if it starts getting a little bulky, I would definitely loosely wrap it around and tie it so you don't squish too much of this, you know, pretty sari silk rose border. Now with this, because we wrapped it to the side, to the back, I ended up making the pocket as we discussed. And I actually put some ribbon and stuff down the middle, so you actually have 2 pockets. So you can put some small things in the top and bottom, little journal cards, notes, messages, whatever. And that way it wouldn't be too flimsy, and the way that lace laid out. So I was like, just one, nothing may ever stay in it. So I just sort of put a small border down the middle to make it a 2-pocket lace back if you want. Otherwise, leave it, no big deal. Nothing has to go in there. So let's go through it really quickly. If you've been following me, this is not too new, but I just wanted you to see the final honest to God thing before we flip through, because photos only do so much and you're only allowed so many photos in Etsy. So we have the inner cover, we have the digital pages. I did go by and distress my printed pages with either the vintage photo, a green or a pink, just to enhance the edges of the pages just a little bit so they didn't look so much like they were right off the press. Because these, as in the Eco Dyes, already have that natural tint, so I didn't want to mess with those. This one has a little bit more pink around the edges, which is our great. This is our paint swatch pocket. So it has our little journaling moments in it. So we have our itty bitty pieces. If you followed me along with this process video, which a lot of you did, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the views. Really made my day. Okay, on pattern, on a book page, on the pattern, distressed edges, plenty of room. So these are journal pages. These are journal pages. Even this, to a point, you could have journal moments on it. This is where you get that extra beyond 30 if you sort of utilize the lighter spots on the decorative pages. Otherwise, journal, right? You could journal on the back of the cards. Those I don't count as a 30 when we have little things like this. Doesn't mean you don't lose the page. I have no problem making little notes and dates on little cards. I do it in my autumn book. Every little card can have a note on it, can have a saying on it, a graphic that, usually just an important date, something fun that went on that day or in that book, and I'll use the back of my little cards. So, now this, of course, not so much a writing page. Doesn't mean you couldn't put another belly band and put another card in it if you wanted more space. That's always fun just to play with. This is definitely a journaling page. Can't go wrong. So like on this one, I hinted it with more green because there was more green in the page. So I did the green around the edges of that one. We have things like this though, where we have little ruffled ribbon enhanced on top of the lace in a couple spots. That was nice and distressed. Now this is the only page where I was like, yeah, it might be a little harder to write on directly, but doesn't mean you can't take one of your favorite pieces of paper, rip the edges, put it down, and then journal on top of that. Again, that's where you get your extra beyond 30 pages, 30 days. You need that 31st day, depending on the month. You could put a piece of paper down on here and write on it. Or even put a hidden paper clip on this page and tuck, a note in on it. Then we have the middle of the signature. I do have it tied in, a cute little, just a cluster of beads and or rocks, I should say, and handmade with love, and a little key, just a little something to hang out, since we have to close it up somehow in the middle. Hopefully you watched the reveal of this one before we went to the cover, where we have our pockets with our large tag. So I decorated. Again, the back is totally, this is where you can write here, and we get our full 30 pages, I believe. Or it's 32 because I don't remember if I counted these or not. These are like, well, you have the journal cards to write on, so you still have the ability to write on these pages. You don't lose them, even though they feel super decorated. Put another piece of paper down here to make it a little thicker, so again, easy to write on. And you can even put a little hidden message back here. You could write a message here, continue on onto the card, continue on onto the card, or however you want to do it, from front to back, back to front. You could still have a great journaling moment right here and on here and use these pages for journaling. But then, of course, you have the back, and you have this one. Again, put a piece of paper on it. You get more than the 30 pages we're thinking of. Another ruffle on this one. And away you go to the back side. Again, it's either, I distressed it in green or I distressed it with more pink. Pink's a little harder to see. There are moments like here where you get, definitely it helps enhance it into the corners. So I did enjoy that a little bit, knowing that there's just a little bit more to it. It wasn't just such a plain white edge. In the back, we have that belly band with another card. So though I belly band right in the middle of a writing page, you have a card to write on. You could, depending if you're left or right, you could write down the side, continue on with the paper onto the card, and away you went. And all the way to the back. Now this one too, this is where you could add that extra page. There is definitely still the ability to write smack on this decorative corner page without any worries. And if you have something small that you want to put in here, especially if you're giving this as a gift, you want to put a little birthday card or something in there, you could tuck it into this edge here. Since the way the bag was used, it had that edge, and I wanted to continue to emphasize it. So we have a little bit of what is this? It's not embroidered, but I love it. I have it in different colors. So anyway, a little extra oomph to this one. We have some decor in the corner. You have the pocket, and then if need be, you have the back. Now, definitely when you're writing, we're going to be really careful though, because these are paper flowers in the sense that they're not like paper, like digital, but they are that light Michael special paper flowers. We always want to be careful with them. So it is a lot on the front, so it's got to be very careful. But what are they? Oh, they are considered paper flowers. It's just a different type of meshed recycled paper that they use. So that is the Pink Botanical kit. It has the laces on the edges. It is a semi-naked because I don't have a lot of decorations in it. It is definitely to journal in, using that Eco Dye paper to its full extent and giving you guys a 30+ day book. It's one of those things where if you had 5 of these, you could have 5 months decked out in different colors for different seasons, different reasons. But yeah, this is it, guys. I haven't done a journal in a while. I did a couple autumn and Christmas, this past year when we went in 2021. And I made some journals, mini journals and other things, as we went into the new year. Funny little mini floral whatevers that were just cute little lookbook type ordeals. So these are still up, I believe, for sale. There's a pack of them where there's a set for 2. I still have some journals out there just every day as you see fit. But yeah, it's been a while. I think I did the 2 Valentine ones, and I did these little lookbook fun flip throughs, and then I really haven't had a chance to make one since. I started on these back in May. Finally coming back around to my spring and spring digitals, and we got hit with a slight hiccup. So that's okay. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Pink Wildflower Botanical Semi-Naked Journal, up for sale on my Etsy shop as we speak. So I want to make sure you guys get it right away, and before summer's completely over with, which is fine. It doesn't have to be now, but I think it's going to be a great gift. Buy early for Christmas, and you have it for, as a birthday gift. You have it as a Christmas gift to someone who really loves pink, who's a huge pink fan with a pretty blue accents. Blue and green. The papers have some green, have some blue in it. The accents I added into it were more green, so I think they're absolutely gorgeous. You see a lot in here too. And a great little journal for someone who's just starting out, someone who wants the room to play in it, add to it however they see fit. There's plenty of room to do so. And if nothing else, I just love the front. The front is just, I'm so happy with it. I'm like, yay! I did a cluster finally. So thank you so much for watching on this Sunday morning. A little extra bonus since you had one on Thursday showing the digital kits. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what comes up. I think according to the autumn digital reveal, I think it's going to be an autumn journal next. And you'll get to see some process on that. And then as time goes on, we'll come back around to these other 4 journals that are part of the Wildflower series kit. And little by little, we'll get those out. So if you have one that you've been following, you want a blue one, you want me to do the blue one next, you want me to do the base cream color one, you want me to do the purple one, let me know. Leave it in the comments and say, hey, I'd love if you worked on this one next once you're done with autumn. Maybe you have somebody in mind that you like it as a gift, and it's always good to know if there's something out there who has a need to fill that first and foremost instead of guessing at it. So thank you so much. This is Jolene with the Jewel Design. I really appreciate you watching this flip through this lovely little journal, and hopefully it will speak to somebody and will not have to stay on my shelf for very long, and will find a new home. So thank you so much for everything. I will talk to you all later, and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.